Welcome to Education Online program. This teacher Regina Massimo presenting you a topic in biology for Senior 3 and Senior 4. Our topic is role of photosynthesis and respiration in energy provision. Because in our previous lesson, we learned about the importance of photosynthesis and respiration for the living organism, or their importance in life. So we came to learn that they play roles in the life of living organism, the two processes, biochemical processes, which are photosynthesis and respiration. And this role were summarized into 3 points. The point number 1, or the role number 1, they provide essential elements for the living organism. That was in our previous lesson was discussed. So the topic of today is representing the role number 2, the role played by photosynthesis and respiration in the life of living things. They provide energy. That means both photosynthesis and respiration provide most of the energy needed by living things. Why do living things need energy? The living things, they need energy to carry out cellular processes. To carry out cellular processes and other biological activities. These are the reasons why living organisms need energy, because they want to carry some cellular processes and other biological processes. What are those cellular processes? Like synthesis of sugar. The cellular processes, example of it, synthesis of sugar from carbon dioxide and water. This is photosynthesis. Another example of cellular processes, the replication of DNA. Replication of DNA through cell division. Cell cannot divide itself if there is no energy to carry out that process. And I've said that there are other biological activities or biological processes like growth and development. This one here, growth and development. development. If there's no energy, growth or development cannot take place. Development is a change in the shape of the living organism. Movement. You can't move if you don't have energy. Reproduction. So these are some of the biological processes need energy. So these are like answering the question as why living things need energy. Therefore, the energy can be defined as the ability to do work. Energy can be defined as the ability to do work, because these are all work. Cellular processes like synthesis, making sugar like glucose from carbon dioxide and water through respiration. This is a work. This work cannot be carried out unless there is energy to carry it. Replication of DNA, this is another work done or carried by cell. Without energy, this cannot be done. Growth, development, movement, reproduction, these are all work. That's why we define energy as the ability to do work. Here, the living things use energy in different forms, or they use different form of energy to carry these activities. And these different form of energy, they are interchangeable. That means they change from form to another. Living things use different form of energy to carry all the processes mentioned. And these energy forms, they are interchangeable, which are interchangeable. They are interchangeable to carry all the biological activities. That's why the first law of the thermodynamics states that, let me explain that first, then I give the statement of that law. The energy the living things using here, which are in different form, the living things, they get their energy from like plant to prepare for us what? Like synthesis of sugar from carbon dioxide and water. This one carried by photosynthesis by plant, through photosynthesis by plant. The energy is from sun light energy. This sunlight energy is changed into chemical energy. Then they are stored in glucose. Become what? From sunlight become chemical energy. This chemical energy can be released from here through respiration. Can be released through respiration. And this energy released through respiration enable us to carry many activities, enable the cells to carry cellular processes, like transporting nutrients from place to place. It needs energy. For us to move or to change our position as whole, we use that energy. For the body to function properly, we need energy. So the energy needed for the body to function properly, that means it needs temperature. And that temperature is a heat. Heat is also another form of energy. Heat is also another form of energy. Heat. The one caused by the movement. So these are the different forms of energy. That's why the first law of thermodynamics states that the first law of thermodynamics states that energy is neither created nor destroyed. But can be changed or can be converted from one form to another. But can be changed or converted from one form to another. From one form to another. And there are two types or two basic types of energy. There are two basic types of energy. Types of energy. There are two. One, kinetic energy. Two, potential energy. These are the two basic types of energy. The kinetic energy includes kinetic energy that can cause movement. It includes heat or thermal energy. It's called thermal energy. This is caused by the movement of substance. It is caused by substance. Another energy under kinetic is radiant energy. The radiant energy. This type of energy, it is a wave of light. Is the one coming from the sun. Wave of light. Wave of light that comes from the sun. And is the one used to be changed into chemical energy. Is the one is changed into chemical energy in the nutrient. The last energy under kinetic energy is electric potential energy. Electric potential energy. And this energy is the one having ability to separate charges. That's why it's called what? Energy of charge separation. Energy of charge separation. Energy of charge separation. And it's the one transporting what? The neutron. The neutron is stored in form of chemical reaction, in chemical energy. When they are released, then they need to be carried from place to another. These are the type of energy used for transporting this neutron. Transporting nutrients. This is all about the kinetic energy. And kinetic energy is the one causing movement. Then the second type is potential energy. Potential energy is associated with position and structure of the molecule. Associated with the position and structure of substance. With the position and the structure of the substance or of the molecule. This type of energy is that energy normally is stored in, these are the energy is stored in ATP molecule or glucose molecule. So this is a type of energy that form the molecule, then it's just there. If it is not touched, it has no use. That means it's just like storage. That's why is said to be what? Associated with the position and structure of the molecule, substance or molecule. Therefore, we can give an example of potential energy by, or we can give example of it by chemical energy, the energy that is stored in glucose or ATP. It's called chemical energy. Is example of chemical energy is the example of potential energy, because chemical energy, these are the energy is stored in the neutron. If it is not released out, it has no use. So when it is released, that the time now change into kinetic energy, will give all this form: heat, radiant, electric. Electric potential energy, you'll see movement or substance. That movement will cause what? Heat, thermal energy. That means from this energy change into heat energy. This heat energy, some of them can be used to carry other functions in the body, and the excess can be sent out into the atmosphere, and again will come back as a radiant energy, will be stored in the nutrient, become what? Become chemical energy. This chemical energy, if it is released, now will carry many functions, transporting things, movement, and will change into heat energy. Again, some of the heat is used for carrying some biological process in the body, because our body normally function in a certain temperature. That's why this heat, the normal heat caused by the movement of the substance, known as a temperature in our body. Temperature. And for the body to function properly, it needs optimum temperature. The excess of heat then will be sent out into the environment. Again, can be brought back in form of radiant energy, like a wave of light from the sun, to be changed into chemical. So this is how the energy are changed from one form to another. For example, photosynthesis, using this radiant energy. Then this radiant energy is transformed, or it is changed into chemical energy. This chemical energy is stored in the nutrient. Is stored in the nutrient. Through the respiration, this nutrient is broken down. When it is broken down, that's the time this chemical energy is released out to make use of it. So here, when it is changed into electrical potential energy, this will transport what? Substance from place to place, and removing out the waste product out of the body, specifically within the cell. So this movement of the substance will cause what? Thermal energy. That means this electric potential energy will change into heat. The normal heat, known as a temperature. We use this temperature to warm our body. To warm body. The excess of heat, the excess of heat energy, then will be sent out into the environment, and again will be brought back by the process of. So this is how the forms of energy is changed from one form to another. In conclusion, I want to say like this. The radiant energy from sun was changed into chemical energy and stored in the neutron. Let me write it down. This is the conclusion of our lesson. In conclusion, the radiant energy from sun was changed into chemical energy and stored in the neutron. Into chemical energy and stored in the neutron. For example, this glucose. Part of chemical energy is changed into part of chemical energy is changed to kinetic energy. Kinetic energy. When we talk about kinetic energy, this is the energy that causes movement to carry all the biological activities. To carry all the biological activities. The other part of the chemical energy is lost as heat. Or thermal energy to the environment during cellular reactions. To the environment during cellular reaction. Thanks for listening. We have come to the end of our lesson of today. We meet next time.